Dark mode enabled. Hey everybody, Heather Cox and Jane Clark here. Hi dear,
Hello,
how you
hello.
doing? How are things?
Wonderful. What about you?
Oh, it's a Thursday. Like every Thursday.
Throwback Thursday is really what this is going to be all about today.
Yes, it really is. Oh my God. We have so much to talk about in regards to websites and platforms. And I mean, like, okay, we could even go even further than just websites. I mean, like, as a platform, you could pick between Patreon and another platform. You could pick between
Etsy and your
MailChimp and Constant
website.
Contact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is going to be an awesome conversation. I'm super stoked, but I miss you.
I missed you. Okay, so for some reason I've been awfully productive today, or this week actually.
Dude, yeah, I've seen all of the things that you've been doing.
But tell me, okay, so you have been, oh my gosh, I'm still fangirling with the fact that you were on the Every Woman show. I love it so much. And so tell me a little bit about like what that's been ongoing, if it is, and what you've been up to the last couple weeks. Catching up with Constant Clark. Yeah.
I didn't even put that in the catching up with Cox and Clark notes, which is funny, but thank you for asking. And I want you to go too. Actually, are you around tonight?
What's going on tonight?
Are you around tonight?
1 second, I'm looking.
Because
I am around tonight. What is happening?
Okay, so Every Woman is Every Woman Network with DETV, channel 28 here in the state of Delaware. And the DETV, the Every Woman Network, is basically a network of women that come together and record a show in front of a live studio audience that is all women, and it's women only. We have a DJ, we have charcuterie and munchies and sangria, and then we record 2 episodes that will air on DETV and the Every Woman Network. And there's a live studio audience. And, I'm going to be hosting some as well. But I'm also in charge of their marketing and their social media. I'm on their production team. And it's like it's an open invitation to women everywhere to come and be a part of the studio audience and even possibly be a guest on the Every Woman show. So that's why I was asking, what are you doing tonight? Because it's tonight.
Am I up for that tonight? Let me think. This is huge. I feel like
you don't even have to be recorded tonight. Just come for like free food and sangria. I mean, just saying.
You had me a charcuterie board, to be fair.
Wow.
Just give me some cheese and grapes, and I'm pretty much.
Yes, that's what we have: cheese and grapes and sangria with a DJ. I mean, you can't go wrong. And like everybody is just so amazing. But yes, it's in downtown Wilmington. It's at the DETV studio. And yeah, that's just been so much fun to get to work with. I will be there tonight. And yeah, it's just, I think we're talking, I forget what the topic of conversation is tonight, but I believe it's every Thursday we're going to be recording. So that is what I do on Thursday nights now, which is hilarious. But yes, that's what's partly going on with me. And then, I also have, I've been doing Jane, like in 15 years, I've never done cold email outreach, like ever. Like maybe once, but like I got it before. And okay, so then, but like I was like, okay, I'm gonna like really do like a strategic cold email marketing campaign. But Mercury retrograde is kind of messing me up in regards to that and messing up communication. It's all about technology. So I was like, okay, I sent 2 yesterday and I was like, okay, I'm just going to like put this on the back burner real quick until August 25th. So for my astrology girlies, if you are concerned with like communication and whatnot, August 25th is when you can start up again in regards to what you were going to do. Because millionaires do not believe in astrology. Billionaires do. And
Billionaires do.
I'm dead ass. And so I'm actually going to be, I'm doing some outreach to find an astrologer, somebody to look at my birth chart to help me with my business. So
that is really freaking cool. Dude, I want to be a fly on the wall for that one.
Dude, yeah, I'm totally going to share all of the findings with you in regards to my birth chart. I have already had my birth, I know how to do this kind of stuff. So like I did my birth chart and I've been reading about it and learn, but it's just like there's so many other people who are more intuitive than me. I'm just reading information, but some people are really in tune with, oh, okay, the moon is conjuncting Saturn and it's retrograding in Jupiter. Like, I don't freaking know. So, yeah, I just want to hear about it. But
Yeah, I think it's cool, you know? I mean, gosh, I mean, we can be hobbyists in pretty much anything, and I
yeah,
think we should all be. I think we should all love and be involved in as many things as we can, so we don't burn out. But at the same time, I get a little nervous because, well, here's the thing. Like, I always find tarot cards very insightful. Oracle cards are called a bunch of different things, and I think they're called things based on someone's perhaps internal religious moral compass of what they're allowed to bring into their life, you know, and they're trying to kind of marry those two ideologies. But let me forget to read you your color astrology.
Yes. I'm excited for that one. So but I'm saying tonight, if you're around, maybe you could do that tonight. We could see. I don't know. Okay.
Yes,
but
yeah, so
what's going on with you?
15 years. Yeah, so Swan's doing this for 15 years. I trust them to know what they're doing. So, yeah, going to an expert is always warranted, no matter what the industry is.
That's right, yeah.
What is going on with me? Okay, I actually do have a couple of things. I'm really excited. The Delaware Business Expo, which was formerly the Delaware Networking Station, I believe is in next month. I think there was a little bit earlier this month. Or this year.
I forgot to sign up for that. I'm gonna sign up for that.
Heather, are you gonna be there?
I literally just I need to sign up for my table, and I need to. I love you, Mom, but my mom cannot be at my booth. My mom cannot be at my booth. Like
Sorry, Mom. Get your own
love
booth.
You so much, Sue, but like I'm trying to do something completely different. So like I need to get my booth. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Also, yeah. Oh my gosh, you need to. Okay, yeah, we'll talk later. So many other ideas that are not important right now, but just real fast with me. So I know we're talking about the platform picks today. I'm super psyched. I did some math. Ooh. And Heather, I think I might be like a little bit older than you, right? And so I've been building websites for 23 years, no joke.
What?
And that's just since I was 18, because I've been doing it. Remember? Come on, we got Angel Fire, GeoCity,
yes,
Page, like all of those were really accessible, and you didn't have to know a whole lot of coding back then because the website couldn't do a whole lot back then. Yeah. But it was pretty much as good as email, right? And now we want email to hurry up and get the website stuff. But so yeah, I'm old as hell, and I'm really kind of jazzed about it. Like I don't want to be 25 again. I just love that I've gotten to this point, and holy shit, 23 years.
23 years. That's so crazy. Doing it
when I was 16, but 18, I definitely recall me taking paid cash money. So
cash money.
Yeah, that's the cutoff point.
No way.
And I got a verbal and written. Very excited. I'm counting my chickens, guys, but I believe.
So now, like, I feel like I need to go figure out when the first website I made was. Because, like,
I know it.
Because I remember, I just need to go to the Wayback Machine and figure it out.
No, I don't know if it goes that far back, Heather. I don't know, maybe.
Well, I mean, because like I remember Lash and Beauty Bar. I remember the link 2010. I think it was 2010 was my first website. I'm looking at it now. That's bonkers. 23 years? Stop it.
Nope. But we are getting, and because of that, hopefully.
Oh my God,
we're going to be getting the brand and website for a humane society in West Alabama.
Yes.
I'm so excited. So excited.
Oh my gosh.
I know Kelsey is too. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey. So yes, it was in 2010. The first website I made was lashandbeautybar.com. And that was on, hold on. That was on Intuit. Remember Intuit?
Oh my.
INTUIT. Crazy.
I didn't know they. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they made websites.
Dude, that's so crazy.
Dude, we're old. We are old bitches in this industry. That is bonkers. That's why I also vibe with you, because like you've been there, man. Like you've been in the trenches. You have seen what I have seen.
And you know, like, and I think I have a lot of friends in the industry who are definitely my competitors, like
Mm.
direct competitors, but there is something, there is some camaraderie and just have been resilient for this long when so much has happened and so many companies have had to close their doors or they realize that
Yeah.
they're just not thrilled with being a business owner or whatever. So, um,
Good for
yeah, there's a lot
us,
of
man.
good for yes, good for us. And congrats to all the people who I know are still here, like
Yes.
Catalyst Visuals. There's a couple ones.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
man,
okay.
crazy. Well, so talking about websites and web creation and platforms, Jane and I have gone through our share of different platforms like Intuit, I just mentioned. She mentioned Front Page and GeoCities. WordPress is kind of like my top girly. But Jane, let's get into like, what are your, I know, and there's so many different platforms from
Right.
newsletters to blogging to, like services like Twitch. So tell us more, because I know you're like, love dabbling in all the different platforms. I'm like a singular lady. So
Oh, I
when I
want to
find
be a
one, I
singular
stick to
lady.
it.
I'm a monogamous. I'm a serial monogamist. Okay, I want you to know this. So I will dedicate my life to something for like 5, 10 years, and then I'm like, you know what's not serving me anymore. We're leaving. But with WordPress, that hasn't happened, right? But I'm going to be real with you, Heather. Like in the last couple of years, I really felt like, is WordPress the best end product for the average consumer? And I don't think I can answer that point blank.
Mm,
I think it depends on someone's technology level. But what I will say is that there's so many resources available to WordPress that it makes setting up super easy. And if you aren't happy with your developer, finding a new one is easy peasy, right? Some of the others are like Drupal and Joomla, and whenever we hear these, we're like, meh, you know?
mm-hmm.
And a lot of people hang their hat on, oh, well, guess what? It's rarer, so therefore it doesn't get hacked as much. And I'm like, really? That's what you're going to hang your hat on? The fact that it's slightly more unique than the other one. I
Right.
mean, if you want to be that kind of bleeding edge, be my guest. But yeah, we've tried Squarespace, we've tried all sorts of stuff. There
Mm.
is one where I have been instructed by my team to never accept another website in Weebly, period.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, we want to be there for our clients, but I also really like Emily, who's our senior web manager, and I want her to be happy. And so, giving her platforms that are painstaking to set up, I'm done with that. And we can be more profitable because we're faster at the stuff we know, right? So, there are a couple platforms that I do still encourage people to use, even if I don't necessarily prefer it myself. Um, and some of them are depending on if you're e-commerce or if you're arts and craft, if you are, what's your product, what's your industry, is it service based? So there's a platform for pretty much everything, and a platform that is happy to take your money to give you the world, and then of course they take that commission from everything you sell, right? So,
Mm.
but Shopify is by far the best, I think, for e-commerce. So usually I direct people to that unless they like, if they have like hundreds and hundreds of products, I'm like, go on Shopify. But if you're doing something service based or you want a membership site or something, WooCommerce and stuff is definitely fine with that. But again, this is a bit more for the developers in the room. Now, I love to white label things, okay? So
Mm.
if I get someone a WordPress, we are customizing the back end, stripping it down so that then when they log in, they're not seeing like the doom sidebar, which could have like 300 things on it, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I definitely prefer WordPress to develop on. But if I have a company and they're like, I need a website, I'm not going to try to sell them a $10,000 WordPress site if all they need is a Squarespace landing page. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I just don't have it in my heart to do that. I just don't feel like I'm serving the client by forcing that on them. Yeah, who the hell wouldn't want to do the best of everything all the time? But realistically, money is finite for most people. So,
Mm-hmm.
there's issues with just spending $15,000 on a website if that's not where the bulk of your business is going to come from. So I take that into consideration as well. What do you think, Heather? I know you're WordPress hardcore, but have you ever been like, okay, maybe you should go to a different platform?
Yeah, and I mean it's I really do. I mean, yes, I love WordPress and I can spin it up really fast, and the SEO, I'm sorry, is going to be way better
Way better.
than Squarespace or Wix or even WordPress.com. I mean, it's going to be better. But if somebody has specific business goals and they want to use a specific platform, so let's say, an e-commerce over at Shopify is going to be way easier to spin up than an e-commerce over on WordPress. But then I could say, well, you could just use the Shopify plugin on your WordPress and get better SEO. So it's really depends on what the client wants. I mean, you and I are so very intuitive with, all the different platforms. If anybody asks to use Wix or Squarespace or WordPress.com or Shopify, like we have that ability to do that for them. So it really, it does depend on like what the client wants specifically.
Yeah.
I heavily push towards WordPress, but whatever the client wants.
Yeah, and I think okay, so there's this great table that I put together a couple years ago that I probably ripped from someone else because creativity is dead, people. I say that sort of lazy, but
yeah.
I'm sitting here in my chair, I'm leaning back, and I'm like, oh yes, I'm so jaded. Features and ratings, but and I think it's important to know where you are and where you want to go. And so if you're looking for a website that can grow with you without needing a complete overhaul and whatnot, there are platforms that are really good at that. And so you have like WordPress.org, which is like the developer favorite version, Squarespace, Shopify. But, the initial setup, at least with WordPress, is pretty fast, right? I think so. Like you can have a website up in WordPress really quickly, at least from a developer's standpoint. But then you have the ease of use, like how easy is it to use? And then we're going to throw in some other stuff with the theme customization, the web builder, and all of that kind of falls into these categories. SEO, right? I mean, Wix, Shopify, Squarespace, the SEO just isn't as good as WordPress. And then you have the extended functionality. So if you know that your website, you need a slideshow, you need a directory to, I'll use this prospective project as an example, but they're going to need an animal adoption directory, and so who does it better? WordPress, Squarespace, Shopify, Wix. And so you take your must-haves and your would be nice to haves, and based on that, you can really start narrowing it down to what your priorities really are. And if you don't know coding, the customer support is going to be more important for you, right?
That's true.
And so there's a lot of cool things. And I'm not sure if you do this, Heather, but when I'm trying to kind of work backwards from what someone needs, is to look at what your competitors are doing. Look at other, and not necessarily just in your industry. You can look around, and also maybe do it from a different location. So if you want to take a look at what people in California are doing, you're less likely to run into them in Delaware.
Yeah.
So to learn from something completely outside of your area will help you present more uniquely, and like your own thing.
I agree with that.
So the setup is the big one. And if you're doing it yourself, Squarespace, Shopify, Wix, all of those are fairly easy. Now, Wix is really great for larger websites, but it's still not easy to do, because with WordPress and certain themes, you have like what we call these global elements, right? So you change it in one place and then it updates everywhere on the website. And so if you work with someone like Heather and I, like we're going to set you up so that editing your website is not going to take you 5 days. Oh my God, I just had some PTSD thinking of like changing the navigation on every page when I used to post custom websites. Woo! That makes me sweat just thinking about. Oh my God, I remember the horror.
The horror. Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. But I'm glad. I mean, but there's been so many new innovations now.
Oh yeah.
In regards to different platforms, that a lot of people do think that the old school way of doing things is going to the wayside. So like Show It. Have you heard of this?
I actually think I have. Is
web
that for real
builder?
estate agents?
It's called Show It. And it's kind of like, I think it's like a portfolio, a drag and drop builder for creatives.
create your site.
And like it's very easy for people. It's drag and drop. It's also very modern. It's really geared towards oh, look at the bottom. It says Show It and WordPress, the web's ultimate power couple. Create an unbridled freedom in Show It and power it with anything WordPress is capable of accomplishing. You don't have to choose. You can have the flexibility of both. Crazy.
Yeah.
So what, do they have WordPress integrated? Really like interesting.
Ooh.
See? And there's so many new things coming out, from Show It to these AI website builders. You can literally prompt prompt an AI now that will make a website for you based on a prompt. So this one I just found, it's called teleporthq.io, and it's a website builder and a UI generator with ChatGPT integration. So the prompt, it says a professional website for a designer agency. So I'm going to do a professional website for a 3D printing company. And I'm going to click and I'm going to start generating. So the content is being generated. Oh my God, what?
Oh my gosh. I am actually writing all the shit down that you just said.
It literally just generated a website in 3 seconds. Welcome to our 3D printing world. Experience the future of manufacturing with our cutting-edge 3D printing services. From prototypes to production, we bring your ideas to life with precision and efficiency. Oh, beautiful. My God.
And and here's the thing, guys, like, no matter what you think about AI, what it absolutely is beautiful, and no matter what your moral compass is that it's a great place to start.
Dude, this website is so good.
That's it. We need to make these LinkedIn Live
now. No.
So we can share.
But like, oh my God. Babe, this is insane. Okay.
Okay, can you take a screenshot and post it in the comments?
If I do a screenshot, it won't do it justice, because like I'm scrolling and it does this, like, I'm going to record it. I'm going to video record this, and I'm going to show you, because it's doing this crazy scroll up parallax thing just on like these consultation slides. That is crazy. That looks so good.
Okay, so I was about to be like, hey, Canvas.
Sorry, we just got totally sidetracked on the podcast because of a stupid AI web builder. And it's called teleporthq.io. I don't care. Take my job. Take my business, because this shit.
My job. I'm not worthy.
No, because like dead ass, babe. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah,
and like, granted, like none of the buttons work. None of the things actually work. It's only the homepage that's really, like, it's a template. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But, like, it spun it up, babe. It spun up everything, from the company resources to the follow us buttons at the bottom to the privacy, the terms and conditions, the cookie policy, the contact, like, everything. It's so good. And actually, I might use this for, like, helping me create layouts for websites. Like, I need a website for a food blogger, and then it may give me a whole different complete layout, and I may be able to use this to help me, like, jog my brain for, like, WordPress layouts.
Exactly. My friend gave me this great graphic design book. It's just called, like, the Graphic Design Cookbook, and it was made specifically for people who don't want to look at inspiration and be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's suggested to, like, they wanted to come from themselves, and having like these blank layouts are really cool, like, to kind of spark some ideas. I find that opinion, I'm not quite on board with that opinion, but I respect it, and I get that people want their creativity to come from them, but it's almost hard, that subconscious has seen things, and so I think it's impossible to get away from.
But so, like, AI platforms like that crazy ass teleporthq.io. But, there's also, like, it really depends, like I said earlier, what your goals are. So, but then there's also, even like past the website builders, there's other platforms for you to pick from. So, like newsletters, we have Constant Contact, we have MailChimp, We have,
Oh,
oh
yeah,
my
a
God,
lot.
what's that other one? Oh God, there's so many different.
ConvertKit,
Yeah. ConvertKit.
Pages.
There are so many different newsletter website builders out there. It's like kind of crazy. There's different blogging websites. There's WordPress.com. There's Blogger. There's even just doing a WordPress. And any website really can be turned into a blog. I hope people understand that. Maybe because I don't think people do understand that. It's like every website has that blog rollability, right?
Yeah, and again, what's so great about the WordPress way of doing it is because all of those blog categories are searchable, you know what I mean? But you can just create a page every time you want to do a blog post. Now, is that going to help you transfer your shit to another website later? Hell no. It's not going to help you. It's going to hurt you. But you don't have to do a post to make a blog page, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Oh.
Yeah. But there are certainly reasons 2 and 4.
Now what I loved about, and this is some SEO nerd shit, to be honest with you, but I loved creating pages into posts. There was this like WordPress plugin that added the categories of your blog to pages.
And you could change the post type.
Yes. Yeah. And then I added that page to that specific category. So then that page would also show up within the posts XML.
Oh, that's genius.
So then like I would get like double duty on the pages and the posts on like the XML sitemap. So like, cause there's like a post XML, then there's a pages XML. Then there's also a categories XML. So triple actually. So
triple. And there's people who are like, you're competing with yourself. I'm like, who gives a shit if I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 on Google's website? I don't care.
Right. That's what oh my God, yes. Like when and that's why I love using like the Heather Cox Codes like hashtag as a call to action. Because I'm like, just look me up on Google, hashtag Heather Cox Codes. And then it's just like page 1, 2, like literally result 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like I want to like monopolize that search. Are you kidding me?
I do.
Please.
Heck yeah.
Gives us more domain authority.
Sites that you just recommended to us. Show It really does have some great, and you know what? Like, there's also a website called Pixpa. I know these brand names are getting out of hand.
They are.
But what's so great about it is that it's made for photographers, and it's incredible. It automatically adds watermarks to your images. You can sell your prints. So if you are in a certain market, if you just say, like a web design or a photographer website, and see the different options you get, and check out the ratings, and not just on their Google or Bing places.
Yeah.
You want to check to see that. Oh my God, 1 second. I'm distracting myself with
the Show It and the.
Yeah, I need to stop looking at it.
I know it's crazy. Like and the future is, and you know what? To be honest with you, it is getting easier and easier to create websites and spin them up faster.
Look at that.
Because of AI, right? Because of the use of, ChatGPT for copy, ChatGPT for helping optimize SEO, for, these AI websites that literally will spin you up a website in 3 seconds. Like, it's crazy.
Insane. Yeah, and oh my God, I mean, just procrastination, right? That's a whole nother thing.
And then you got to think about the AI integration of other things in these already existing platforms like Wix and Squarespace and WordPress. I know if you pay for the premium version of Yoast SEO, shout out to Yoast. I'm shouting out Yoast right now.
I have that.
I heart Yoast because they actually are active on Threads. And I called them out. I think I did a post about Yoast, or I said I use a Yoast plugin for my SEO, and they were like, "Thank you so much for the shout out." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love you guys!" And then they sent me back Jason Momoa with the heart hands, and I was like, "I love you guys!" So shout out to you, Yoast.
That is
been using Yoast for 15 years.
Beautiful.
Legit.
It's right there. It's right there.
Yes, but if you pay for Yoast Premium, they have an AI integration now within their plugin.
Oh, fun, fun,
So if
fun.
you pay for that, you literally click a button and it will read over, I believe, the page that you're trying to optimize, and it will spit out an optimized
Oh my god.
meta
I've been
description
doing
and
this all by
title for you.
hand.
It's crazy.
It's not that hard, but
It's really not
it's
that hard because we
interesting.
speak in SEO and copy. Like literally, like you and I could string together like a long keyword like right now, like out of our brain. Like
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, like, but I will say this, okay? There are a lot of freaking platforms out there, okay? There are so many. Like, it's crazy. Like, go ahead and Google web, like, or drag and drop website builder. Go ahead. Literally. Drag and drop website builder or just website builder. You are going to have so many options. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Choose whichever you want. But I tell you this now. Do not leapfrog from platform to platform to platform to platform. If your website and your entity or whatever you're doing, your newsletter, your community, your website, your whatever that is, please do not leapfrog from lily pad to lily pad and platform to platform. Because every time you do that, you start from scratch in regards to your domain authority. Because you have to move your domain. You don't have to, but then you're still at that other platform over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like if you don't do a domain transfer, let's say that your website, like your domain was over at Google your Google domains, which was then sold to Squarespace or Wix. I forget
Yes,
which
that.
one.
Yep. Welcome to my hell.
Yep. That's why I was like, nope. I was like, I am never going to use a reseller because if I use a reseller, you know they're going to get sold. And that's what happened to Google domains. But I had a client where this had happened. She was at Google domains for a hot minute, but then they got sold over to Squarespace. And then what does that even do to your domain authority once it gets sold? You know what I mean? So you got to think about that. But then we're like, okay, like we obviously need to get it away from there because your hosting is over at WordPress, like GoDaddy. Like, so we had to do a domain transfer over to GoDaddy. And if she decides that she doesn't want GoDaddy anymore, you know she's going to do a domain transfer. Stop. Just stop jumping from platform to platform to platform. It's going, and I see it all the time because people, oh, I'm not getting the traction on this website, and oh, I'm not getting a lot of SEO. Well, yeah, because you're not putting the SEO work into it. You're not doing the ranking things that Google wants you to do. And then people get all pissed off and they're like, oh, it's the platform's fault. And then they jump to another one and it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They just spin their tires and they don't do anything. So when
we all do the same shit, guys, to be honest with you. And
yeah,
now's the time. If you want to create just like a test domain and try these free trials for like 2 weeks and see which one you like better and commit to it, I would highly recommend that because they all give you free trials.
Yes, so I agree with that.
If you want to test, do it before you commit to your domain name, and then
yeah, because it's like if you're gonna be and plus because then it's like they make it and they're like, I'm not selling anything. Well, just because you build it doesn't mean they'll come. Like I hate that phrase, build it and they will come. No, they won't. You need to build it and then put big ass billboards around it. And market the shit out of it. Then they will come. You know what I mean? It's just because you build a website does not guarantee sales or services. You know what I mean? So pick a platform and stick with it. Do not get that shiny object syndrome where you're like, ooh, oh, look, that one looks fun. Because I see a lot of people doing that. They're like, oh, I'm on Wix.com, but I heard about this. Show It. Tell me about Show It. I want to try it. And then they try it, and then they hate it. And they're like, oh, I want to go back to Wix. Can I just transfer my stuff over from Show It to Wix? And then like they can't, and then they got to start all over. Stick to what you're good at and stay in your lane and stick to the platform that you choose at the offset. That's why I've never strayed from ChatGPT ever since it's come out. I don't give two flying birds in regards to any other AI that is out there at this point because I have ChatGPT integrated into my business. Why would I just upend everything that I have worked on just to try the new shiny object over there? So stick to your platforms. What is one platform, Jane, that you have besides WordPress, because like, what is one platform that you're like, nope, I am never?
I would say now again, I haven't developed a WordPress site on Squarespace or I'm sorry, a website on Squarespace at all.
Uh-huh.
It's been a long time. So, but I still always recommend them because one, they have the longevity. Two, they have really beautiful, attractive themes, and three, it's just a lot less to handle than a WordPress site.
Yeah.
So typically, if I have someone who's like, listen, I can't afford your website prices, I'm like, guess what's here for you, Squarespace. Because I get it. Like you only have this much money. It has to get you to launch. How do we do that? And so I try to
Mm-hmm.
spend people's money more strategically. So if they are not in an industry where their website needs to be super duper, then I typically won't recommend a super duper website. But what if you're in a competitive market and you're not doing any SEO, like you're literally losing business because
Yeah.
Heather and I are really good at this, and it's really easy to beat the people who are, giving it their best, but we're experts, and so if I tell you I can get you in the first page of Google, I'm pretty freaking confident because you can't promise that, right? There's so many factors. If someone's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get you number one," I'll be very wary about
Yeah,
that. But
sure.
I'll be like, "Hey, guess what? Your SEO is shit. You don't have a lot of competitors. I'm pretty sure I can get you pretty high up." And that's an informed. But just be careful what people tell you, because there's a lot outside your control. But what's inside your control, the platform you get to work on, making sure it's mobile friendly, making sure it looks great on all the devices. And that's one thing I love to do is why don't you find a theme from the browser, bring it up on your phone, see how well it looks. Because if you don't like the way the websites look on your phone or your computer, you're not going to like your website.
Yeah.
Yeah. So test drive those themes.
Oh man, it is like just there's so many platforms out there. It's just that's why I stick to one. That's why I stick to
Yeah.
one. I just don't want to. And I can do the Wix and the Squarespace and the Showits and all that stuff. I guess maybe I just feel bad doing that because it's like I know the SEO is not going to be great.
You know what? And all we can do is like, hey, SEOs are going to be great. Just so you know, you cool with that? Okay, let's go.
Yeah, I just do feel bad, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. It's hard to have a software that does it all, and WordPress really, really does it all.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and with web design, I feel like I actually have certain competitors out there that are not being honest in their work. And that's really hard for me because I don't trash talk anyone, but it also sucks when like I see like this glaring thing over here that people are going to, and I'm just like, oh no, they're gonna be so screwed in a couple years.
Yeah. So I have a question. When you
Yeah.
do a WordPress website, do you offer training on how to
Yeah.
continue to, and is that an upcharge or do you just add that?
On our basic package,
Yeah.
well, the only package we really offer publicly at this point, we do SEO on every single page, but our prices start at 12,000.
Oh, okay.
So
Right.
we're really just doing like the bigger websites that have a plethora of content. Nonprofits who are 10 years old who have just so much stuff, some of it outdated. They need to streamline it. More. Those are the kind of sites that excite me. But yeah, I do per page or really like, okay, you'd be found for this many keywords because we all know every key phrase should have a page dedicated to it.
Yes.
So we can
Yes.
build more content if we need to. But
Okay.
what about you?
I mean, I do, but I tend to, the people who come with me to do websites, they need like a lot of the time monthly stuff updated, and they don't have time to update it. And it's so much updating stuff that they don't have the time. So they're like, okay, I need you to do it for me. If they ask, I do provide. I provide like a PDF screenshot how-to thingy. Kind of like, hey, if you need to change this, you'll go do this. And then I also sometimes will offer live training as well. So it's like, if the PDF isn't your jam, then you can get on the phone with me and be like, okay, like how do I use WordPress?
Yeah, we'll record it and then you can have it to reference.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So, Well, this has been
Totally.
a really
Yeah,
interesting conversation. And
I know.
what is
But
the
well,
takeaway? What is the takeaways from this? I
I
know my
think,
takeaway is
oh God.
stick to one platform. Don't and do your research prior to picking your platform, and don't leapfrog from platform to platform. That is one thing I
I
will
guess
say.
mine is pick the right platform from the get go.
Yeah.
Do a
Yeah.
little research and pick the right platform and trying them all before you commit. But once you do commit, we tend to. The one thing here's my takeaway. Water the grass is green where you water it. Some of this stuff is different, but not better or worse. It's just a different platform.
Mm-hmm.
Because people will literally change companies. Think about GoDaddy when they had sort of like those sexy chicks on the NFL Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and how I had clients calling me leaving in droves, women who were like, "I'm disgusted by their
Yep.
marketing and I want to leave."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
I
like,
remember that.
"Okay, wow, all right, let's do it." Like they were willing to pay me money to inconvenience themselves to move. Um, so
Yeah.
that's why we had so many companies because we want to work with people who share our values. And yeah, so that's just a personal decision you'll have to make. And then so long as it's meeting your needs forever, then stick with it. Totally.
Yeah. All right. So any news notifications for today?
I do have some.
All
Normally
right. Let's
you
go.
are totally on top of this,
I
but
have no news notifications today.
and you want to do the first one?
I mean, you
You're
can.
kind of into it.
I mean, like,
All right.
I want to have this discussion on Into the Black, but I want to hear your thoughts on it because it's kind of crazy.
Okay. All right.
And I know Nancy did something about it too. She wrote like something about it on LinkedIn the other day.
Yeah. I saw that, and I was like, insightful, Nancy, as always. Okay, so the AI overhaul. And as you know, Heather mentioned it earlier, everything is utilizing AI, right? But you know what does surprise me actually? How many people, how many are charging for it? But knowing the technology it takes to run it, like I get it, but normally a lot of like think about it, Discord had a free version for like 5 years before it went live. So maybe I just
Mm-hmm.
missed like that beta testing, but I felt like they just rolled out with it and wanted money right away. And I thought that was an interesting change um, in industry. But anyway, so the AI overhaul, search engines evolve into answer engines. And this actually scared me because I was thinking if we can just ask Google a question and be like, "Hey Google, who's the best web design company in Delaware?" "Hey Google, what are the 5 pillars of blah blah blah?" They're not going to your site now because Google is bringing all that content to the surface. And is it giving anyone credit? I don't know. That is the only thing that I'm like, this is an interesting dynamic. It's almost like they're utilizing our work in order for them to be on top, right? Like, oh, I know the answer because there's 4 billion people in the world who put out content, and then you pull the pattern. What do you think about it? In one way, it's really convenient, but also I'm really worried about misinformation and our traffic going way down.
Yeah, I mean, there are still people who still use the normal Google search, right? People use Bing, people use DuckDuckGo. So not everybody is going to move away from the AI search or from like to the AI search and move away from Google. But then at the same time, people are also moving away from Google and Bing and all these search engines to search via social media and finding their answers via social media. One of them is TikTok. A lot of people are like, I'm looking for, skincare. And they'll go over to TikTok and they'll look up, like gluten-free or organic skincare. And then actual people who have used the skincare, they can see it right then and there, and then they can make a decision. And there's a link directly linked to it. So I think that I'm not too worried about it. There's only a small subset of people who are using AI to begin with. So people who are using AI to search are even is a smaller percentage.
Yeah.
So as long as you are organically optimizing your website and your social medias for SEO properly, then I believe that they're just going to use the same type of crawlers that Google uses to search things and to index. I really think it's like it'll have its own internal indexer like Google. And then it will just pull the information from the XML sitemaps and the text and the alt text on the back end of the images. Remember we did that test on using ChatGPT, and I was like, give me 3 images that are a burger in Delaware. And it gave me the websites where the burger image was that was associated with 3 different restaurants here in Delaware.
That's cool. Okay.
So you really got to think about making sure that you dot all of your I's and cross all of your T's in regards to SEO, because yes, it's a small subset of people who are using AI for search, but it's just going to continue to get bigger. And especially with the new like ChatGPT AI search capabilities section that's coming out. I've already been using ChatGPT search because it connects directly to Bing.com. But, and then let me tell you guys, if you aren't using Bing.com/webmaster to optimize for AI search with ChatGPT, I don't know what you're doing. Because think about it. Okay. Just think about it. ChatGPT is connected to Bing. Literally connected to Bing.com. I could ask it. I can go ask it right now. Look up who Jane Clark is of Brand Swan using Bing. And then it'll say, searching Bing, researching Jane Clark using Bing. Like it's directly connected to Bing. So then if you have your XML sitemap and your sitemaps and your information and you use Bing.com/webmaster, you're probably going to be found better by the AI searches than if somebody who did not. So
yeah, agreed.
Use Bing.com/webmaster if you really are worried about the AI SEO that is coming out. So
very cool, very cool. And I'm pretty sure they all say like, hey, this is generated by AI in a lot of instances. But I'm also seeing Google get smarter, right? And what the hell is this? Google has a payback guarantee. What?
Oh, snap.
So I was just doing some testing here, and I'm like, okay, well, and I was looking at a client, I'm doing SEO for a client, and I saw Google Guaranteed badges of confidence. You may see the Google Guaranteed badges on both ads and other results that include premium profile details. Google guarantees businesses pass certain checks. Their service comes with money-back guarantee up to $2,000, a lifetime cap if you request reimbursement within 30 days. What?
That's crazy. What?
I have to. That doesn't seem possible. You know how many issues people have with clients? Like, there's no way that they aren't abusing the shit out of this. What?
That's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna do some more research and circle back on that, because that is the most insane thing I've ever read. Like Angie's List or something.
Oh my gosh.
Guaranteed is the thing. Anyway, okay. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it is. Oh my gosh. Well,
right. What are we talking about next week?
Next week we are talking about being a modern marketer, because we are modern girlies up in this bitch. And we are going to learn the strategies of attraction marketing and how you bolster it with strategic outreach.
Yeah.
That's going to be super exciting. And it's so funny because I just posted the other day on my Instagram over at Heather Cox Codes. And I posted and it was like, let me flirt on behalf of your brand. So that definitely aligns with the attraction marketing and being flirty.
Shake your tail feathers, girl.
Yes. I love it so much. So next Thursday at 11 a.m. EST on August, no, it's August 22nd, silly goose.
Yep, nailed it.
And we will be back on next Thursday. And then this one will be probably published before the end of the week.
Yeah.
So if you're listening... If you're listening
Don't forget, Beyond the Burnout just dropped, so go check it out on darkmodelive.com.
The link drop, darkmodelive.com. That's right. Oh, I'm so excited. I love that so much. And if you are listening on Spotify or watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Please do not forget to rate us, follow us, and subscribe. We would really appreciate it. And join us here every Thursday at 11 a.m. EST, unless otherwise stated, for the live recording of Dark Mode here on LinkedIn Live. If you would like to be on the podcast, please join us here live every Thursday. Raise your hand and we can bring you up and we can talk about the day's topic. Jane, it's been wonderful Thank you so much for being my awesome co-host because you're awesome. I just love you.
Hard hands.
And you need to tell me and let me know about tonight, okay?
Okay, well.
All right. Love you. Dark mode disabled.
Dark mode disabled.
Bye.